Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope you're okay. My name is Agnes, Director and Founder of MPA Coaching. We are a recruitment and placement agency which helps international students to come to London and carry out work experience, find accommodation, linguistic trips in London, but also in Europe. So today, it's the premiere launch of a yes. I'm a bit nervous, but because I've got a big great lady next to me, but and today is the first launch, the premiere of the program Hire an Intern. So I've got the privilege of welcoming a lady who has been with us since May 2014. She has been really a valuable, not only partner to welcome interns, but also a mentor. She doesn't know it, but she has been a mentor. I've been looking at her, reading her books, and really inspiring me. She has been actually inspiring me. So if I'm here now, that's also because of her and thanks to her. So really, I would like, without further ado, to introduce Mrs. Janice B. Gordon.
It's lovely being here.
So Janice, can you please introduce yourself to us and give us a bit of an insight of who you are? And yes.
So my name's Janice B. Gordon. I'm a strategic account, sales speaker, consultant and educator. And what I do is I work with clients. So like lots of companies nowadays, I run my own company and I work with larger companies. So I have a home base and I go out to client sites and I go to conferences and I speak at conferences and I do workshops and training either in company or, and so I'm quite flexible in my work, and that's why when interns work for me, they're quite surprised that it's not just the same thing day in, day out. It's such a variety of work that I get involved with. So they have a wide variety of experience, and it makes my life more exciting as well. I never really get bored because there's always new challenges, new things to learn. So I could be working in America, I could be working in the UK, I could be doing online courses, I could be, writing books and articles at home, or I could be developing projects in company. I'm also a visiting fellow of Cranfield School of Management, so that means I get to do really exciting projects with large global companies. So I absolutely love what I do, and I've been working with MPA Coaching, I think it's 8-9 years.
Nearly 5 years.
5 years.
Yes,
5 years. So I've had a variety of interns work with me, so I
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm looking for.
Yes, she knows very well. Sometimes as soon as I see a profile, I know that, okay,
That's
one.
for Janice.
Thank you. So can you tell us, Janice, what's your proudest achievements?
Do you know what? There's been quite a lot of great achievements. I spoke in Chicago at the Sage Summit, which is incredible. I met Richard Branson, which is amazing because he's like one of my mentors. There's been so many, really. Every year, really, I win lots of awards. I'm constantly challenging myself and things. So, I never know what's going to happen. So I'm really grateful for the achievements I've got, and I've got lots of ambitions for many, many more.
Okay, and your long-term goals?
Long term, I would like to do more work in America. Okay. I've got family in America. Mm-hmm. Also, I go away for 6 weeks, 2 months over the winter. Yes. And this time I wrote a book. In fact, I wrote 2 books. Mm-hmm. So the rest of this year's editing those and getting a publisher. And so actually, I'd like to spend longer out of the UK, in warmer countries.
Like Morocco?
Yeah, exactly. That's where I was recently. Prior to that was was Egypt. So I'd actually like, my long-term goal would be to have a permanent base, so that I go out and I do projects, and I don't really mind where that is. Also to kind of do more work in America as well. So yeah, I've got lots and lots of kind of long-term ambitions, really. Yeah. So yeah, it'd be really nice to get a bestseller out of one of these books as well. So that's kind of more recent, you know. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll put the links also of the books on the Facebook Live.
Yeah.
And now I would like you to give us a bit of an experience, your experience hiring interns. For example, what were the best aspects of hiring interns?
Do you know, the first month is very much about bringing them up to speed.
Okay.
And so, you know, we do smaller projects, work on kind of social media, because the thing when interns come from universities, it's just like startups. They think they know.
Yes.
But actually real life is very different.
Yes.
So, you know, if you do Facebook's socially yourself, doing Facebook for business is very different. So you know the tool, but you actually don't know how to use it for business. And so there's a real learning curve in everything that they do. So they may do in-company projects and they may do projects, but actually when you're working for a small consultancy, you're doing everything.
Yes.
And so the language you use, the branding, it has to be very precise, because you only have a small amount of time to make an impression. So you cannot make mistakes. And so I like to give interns the real freedom to make mistakes before it goes out. So that's when you really learn.
Yes.
And so they're exposed to doing so many things. And I'm very particular about how they're done, even down to putting a stamp on an envelope. Now, most people would just stick a stamp on an envelope,
wherever.
But you know, you have got to put it in the corner. It's got to be lined up, and it really says something about, you know, your attention to detail.
Exactly.
I meet a lot of interns that want to do social media, but it's about the analytics. It's about the measurement. It's about the precise nature of it. It's about changing one word or another and measuring the impact of that. It's not just about putting out a post. And so that's what I really focus on, so that they can demonstrate, this is where we were at the beginning of the 3 months, this is how many followers we had, this is the level of engagement we had. And then at the end of 3 months, I want to see that they've had an impact. And not only that, for when they go out and they're looking for work, they can demonstrate the impact of their work through the developing my channels. They can say, this is what we started off with. So I set them targets. You know, I want to grow my channel by this month. I want to increase my engagement by that month. And then they learn all of the metrics and ways to do that, and really understand what is it that does that increases engagement. So it's not just about doing pretty posts. It's about being really effective with the messaging and really effective with building the engagement. And that's what companies are looking for, and that's the difference. You know, it's not clever, it's actually being really precise about what you're doing and measuring it. So, you know, that's I think that's the thing that I offer, really, a real deep level understanding of everything they do, whether it's, you know, posting videos, recording videos, editing videos. It's actually doing it to a really good business standard.
Exactly. And I can actually confirm this, because a lot of students, when they arrive, they've got this basic knowledge. As you said, it's just like on the social side of things, that they know social media. Oh, do you know Facebook? Oh, yes. Then they're just selfieing here and there. And I've seen it actually, because one of the students that you received was one of my niece. And I saw the transformation between when she arrived and when she left. The attention to detail, even her presentation. Because I remember you ladies went shopping and you had a specific target and standard about that. So it's really something that actually also learn in my own business, to set standard that students will come up to. So now, do you have any obstacles, or did you encounter any obstacles in hiring students, or obviously?
Well, you know. Get on the phone to Agnes. I'm very, very clear about what I'm looking for, because I've had so many interns now. And so I really set the expectations. And the thing is that I think people don't really believe you. So when you say about, I want someone with a can-do attitude, and I mention that, then if you then, we're working together and you say to me, and this was a recent experience, you know, I don't like doing, I don't like being in front of cameras. I don't want to do this. I'm not very good at it, so I don't want to do it. That is not a can-do attitude, because the thing is, I will give you maximum support. I don't want anything on my channel that's below standard. So the thing is, I'm going to train you to come up to a high standard. That's a real asset. If you can get in front of a camera and you can talk confidently, you're representing the companies you work for, not only are you representing yourself. So I've had that kind of training. So I'm willing to invest time in you and I feel confident enough that you can do it. That's why I'm asking you to do it. But then if you're saying to me, no, then that's not really a can-do attitude. And those things I find are unacceptable. You may not be good at things, but you have to trust that I can get you up to the standard to be good at things. So you're learning a new skill. So that also, you know, because I have worked with a variety of customers, I say, I don't have an office. We don't go to the same office every single day. So you've got to be able to work on your own and develop your own ideas, and then we come together. So sometimes you're working from home. So I say that at the beginning, and then
it becomes a challenge.
It becomes a real challenge. But the thing is, can you imagine, this is, I know kind of in France and other countries are different, but we have a real entrepreneurial environment here. There's many more, you know, SMEs and small businesses and things. We don't all have, you know, we all don't work in offices. And nowadays with flexible workforces, even office-based people are working from home. So to be able to be a self-starter, to manage your time, to manage your day, even if you're working for an employer, that's a major asset. You know, so if you're learning that with me, and I'm helping you to learn those skills, then you need to really embrace it and take it on board, and not think, actually, I can't do this. But your can-do attitude is, I'm going to master this. I'm going to plan my day much better. I'm going to be more productive. I'm going to, you know, work with Janice so I've nailed this. That's the kind of attitude that I like. When I don't get that attitude, we don't get on.
I've noticed that.
You know, because I'm investing a lot of my time in my business. I could be spending on my business. So if I'm going to invest time in you, I expect something in return. So I mention those things, and I really nail those things at the beginning. And if you come halfway through and you decide that actually this is not what you want to do, you know, we have a problem. So that can be challenging sometimes, because as much as you try and manage people's expectations, they don't, if they haven't done it before, they can't really imagine it. So it's always a surprise, a shock, and different.
It's very also the culture in France, as you mentioned. It's very you are on the high street, so you've got your office, you go 9 to 5, you've got 2 hours lunch break, you come back again, and by 5 o'clock or 4:59, you're already out of the door. But here, even myself coming from that background, it's you learn, and you've got that openness, that attitude to welcome it. And a lot of them, and they teach us also. So I think it needs to be a culture that people need to understand, but from when they are in London, in France, because I work in partnership with schools, and some schools say we don't want students to be working from the company's home. And I'm like, this is where the real things are happening. So it's such a culture shock, because they come to London, but they want to come with the French mentality, the culture. So.
But then you don't come to London if you want that. And I blame the teachers, because the teachers have this kind of really narrow, boxed-in attitude as to what work is. But they come to England, they come to London because they want to learn, they want to be in a more advanced environment. And this is why, you know, students from the UK can go anywhere in the world and be more adaptable. So the students need to get the students to be more adaptable if they want to work outside of France. Well, obviously they're interested in working outside of France. They need to kind of be adaptable to that. In the UK, the advantage of students that they can work with a variety of smaller businesses. You know, most of our businesses are smaller businesses. So most of the businesses, and the thing is, you work for a large company, and you will be photocopying. You'll be doing the same thing every day
yes.
in, day out. You might as well be in France doing that.
Exactly.
If you're going to come to the UK, you're coming to the UK to have a wider variety of experiences. You know, some of my students, we might meet at 7 o'clock and go to a breakfast meeting, and then the next day, there may be an evening networking event. So, I can't have students that think, well, 9 to 5 and that's it, I'm off. Finish. No, and I'm not saying that you don't come to London. That just doesn't happen, because our working time is very different. I might have a speaking engagement on a Saturday. I'm not expecting them. They may then get the Monday and Tuesday off. So you're working the same hours, but it's got to be flexible. You can't say I'm only working between these hours, because business, we work with global companies, and so if I'm speaking to people in China, I'm speaking to them, kind of in one time zone, and I'm speaking to people, in the evening, and working in the evening to work with them. If it's in America, then I'm in the afternoon there, just getting up in the morning, kind of thing. So that's how we work. If you want to come to London, you want that experience, you've got to have an open mind to it. That's definitely true.
So one of my questions now would be, if you were the French president of obviously France, what would you do? What one aspect would you change?
Well,
Madame la Présidente.
I get rid of Brexit. I apologise for Brexit. It's just, literally, when that vote came in, I think all of us, not all of us, but 50% of us went to bed thinking, it will come back negative. We're staying. And literally, I think a lot of us got on the phone the next day and wanted to get out of the UK. Wanted to find, maybe I'm coming to France. The French president, I want French residency, because a lot of us want to leave the UK. It's a disaster. So, and that's kind of at the forefront of many businesses. The uncertainty of what's happening. So that is the biggest issue at the moment, and a lot of other things politically are just not getting done. So I don't know if the French president has a view that can change it, but that's what I would like to change. Theresa May?
I don't know. The French president's got not really a lot of all these in Brussels and everything. But now we want a lot of change. But when these students are coming, they're also helping businesses to grow, UK businesses really to develop and expand. And I have to say that thanks to the students, MPA Coaching is today where it is, because they've brought a lot of creativity and that youth, that spirit. And now I can ask you why hire an intern? Why?
Well, talking about the spirit, we started by talking about, in the first month, it's about kind of learning the standards. And then kind of in the second month, it's kind of to and fro. There's a bit of creativity. Now they understand what I'm looking for, what the standard is. What I then want them to do is go out and be creative. And it's interesting, there's a lot of students that are nervous of that, And I say, if you post something on we just take it down. We delete it. It's not the end of the world. I want you to be creative. And by the third month, I'm expecting that you're coming to and say, I've done this research and I think there's something you can do that's much better. This is the way I want to do this project, and I think it will be brilliant, because now they've got enough background knowledge about the kind of thing I'm looking for, the standard and the level of creativity. So I'm expecting the interns to come with ideas. I want that. It's not going to be all one way. It's got to be two-way. And so, I like that kind of ingenuity and creativity. There's so much out there on the internet. I don't always get time to research it. So the time when they're working on their own is doing the research. I'm expecting them to come with, okay, these are better ways of doing it. This is a new app. I've seen this on another website. We could do something similar. I can find out how to do it. I'm going to do it for you, Janice, and be really proud of actually offering something new. That's what I want. So creativity is really important, that they're bringing those ideas to the table.
And also they're into bracket more up to date with current software.
Talk about yourself. Hang on a moment.
For example, Canva. I discovered Canva
Really?
Yeah.
I've been on it for years. Where have you been? Yeah, no, it's true. Like Photoshop and things. I don't get time to really know the ins and outs of Photoshop. It's brilliant if a student comes and says, I can do that.
Yes.
You know, because I would do it in a long-winded way, and if they can do it quickly for me, then that is brilliant. I love that. I love that. There's a lot of things I want to do and I don't get time to do because I have all of the client deadlines, and that's what's great about having an intern. It means that they can really get time to develop and learn a program and then teach me.
Exactly.
I love that. And then teach me how to do it. Teach me all of the shortcuts. It's great because they have the luxury to do that. When you on a deadline working with clients, you don't have the luxury. So yeah, it can really bring you up to standard, up to date with things. But you've got to have someone that has the can-do attitude to do that, that wants to find out, that wants to offer these things, you know, that comes up with an idea. There was one student, intern Hugo. He was into films, old films, and you know, like he did a lot of gaming and things like that. So I was going on a speaking trip, I think, in America, and so he designed these really fun things of me meeting Obama and posted them. They were brilliant, and sometimes I still use them. And I got people ringing up saying, "Have you really met Obama?" I know I haven't, but Hugo was brilliant in creating, you know, a lot, and he had lots of fun. I can imagine him in his room having a laugh. I love those kind of fun things, really. So I've had different interns that have brought a bit of their own personality. In a larger company, sitting in an office, you have to do what they want you to do in brand, and you can't get your hands on any of that. They won't let you do any of that because they're afraid of you. In a smaller company, we love it. We love it when you bring a bit of your personality and ideas. We want all of that, so they get way more experience, a breadth of experience. The company loves it, and you have more fun doing it as well.
Yeah, and whilst actually we are having a live, we're also having lives on other platforms with my intern Cindy at the moment. So she's on Snapchat and Instagram at the same time. So you see, they are just creating, they're just out there. So now, Janice, if you were marooned on a desert island, okay, which historical figure, would you like to spend maybe that time with?
Can I take an intern with me? Please.
Okay,
we're talking about interns.
Okay, which one?
Oh, do you know, I love Marie-Louise and Il Doriel. They were my first two. You know, they were just, and you know, I was kind of learning my first two as well, but oh my gosh, just amazing, powerful, you know, women that, you know, you could see them kind of grow in confidence. And, you know, I keep up with them, you know, with what they're doing and stuff, you know, and I've said to them, when they're making their millions, hopefully they'll employ me.
Yes, I mean, don't forget about
us. Don't forget about us. So I'm Nelson Mandela, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, and Oprah Winfrey, you know, they're I know Oprah Winfrey's still around, but you know, I think I could be laughing and having a chat with her. You know, I'd be happy to be marooned. But you know, Nelson Mandela, he's just got so much depth and knowledge and wisdom that you would be, you know, I can imagine sitting cross-legged and just asking him questions and listening to him. You know, it'd be like an encyclopedia of greatness that you were absorbing. So
okay, Mr. Nelson Mandela will be our choice. So she has told us why. So now, just to really, we're at the end nearly of the interview. I don't know, do you have anything to add or to say, to encourage any UK business who are maybe struggling to find a way to do it all?
I think, you know, like if you're, I think for smaller businesses, it's often really difficult, you know, because you don't have much money, you're growing the business and things like that. But I think even whenever you take on, whether it's a virtual assistant, you know, your first employee or an intern, I think you've got to be crystal clear about what you have to offer.
Yes.
And what you're looking for. I think that's the most important thing, so that you have a system in place.
Yes.
I've got a clear system of what we start with in the first month, so that they can build confidence and understand the standards I want. Once they've done that, it moves on to doing bigger projects, filming, editing and things like that. Then it moves on to more creative projects and things. So they get as much out of it as I do. Yeah. And I've actually got a list of projects that I want them to do. And over the year, I kind of save up these projects. And so I have real clarity about what I want the interns to do that would be valuable for both. So I think, for smaller businesses, really, they should approach MPA coaching, but come with a clear idea of what, and it's not a dog's body, it's somebody that can really offer you things that you cannot do yourself or don't have time to do yourself. So think of them as projects, giving them special projects. It's not your day-to-day, it's special projects. And, these would be things that you would employ someone for a good month to full-time to do, to get that project done, and you run it over the 3 months. Really, really useful. The more you have clarity on what you're trying to achieve and what you want to do in the project, the better project it is on both sides.
On both sides, yes. It's very important to be clear, and it actually reminds me of some experience that I had with some companies, and we offer also that mentoring, because a lot of companies, compared to France, when you talk to them about internship, they're not really aware of it. They know maybe the apprenticeship or a 1 week or 2 weeks observation, but that internship, the way French people see it, is totally different. And we, as obviously the agency that brings them the students, we explain to the company what it is, what it entails, and what is required. Because it's not just about a student being in an office, 9 to 5, clock in, clock out. But at the end, they've got a report to present to their teachers, and they present this at the end of the year to a general exam, to a jury. So it needs to be very, very thorough. Yeah. And as you said, the project needs to be really clear, because they will present it to their teachers. Yeah. And they will ask them, okay, why did she ask you to do that? Who were the partners? What was the time frame? What are the tools that you use? I mean, a lot of questions. So it's not just, I come to London.
And having fun. I mean, I know about those projects. I've done it so much in that, my interns will write a blog. So now they can demonstrate not only to the school, but also to their employer that they've written a business blog. They might film a project or launch a competition. So these are projects that they can take away and demonstrate, because I absolutely know all of my interns have got the highest marks in their reports, because these projects can literally be lifted and dropped into their reports. Even one intern, Min, was going for a job, so I coached him. He got the job, over and above other professional people, because I got him to answer questions in a way that demonstrates that he can do the job. So it's all of those things that they've kind of gotten out, because I understand the business world and what businesses are looking for. Whereas when you're in a student environment, you don't always understand those things. So, with the projects, all of it, they come back to me and say, oh my God, I've got A, I've got the highest. It's like, not surprised. But because in the way that I design the projects, it's the things that they can take away and demonstrate. As I said, in the measurements and what they do, they can demonstrate at the beginning of the project that, my engagement was at this level, at the end it was that, and these are the activities they did in order to move it from here to there. That's an excellent coursework. It's probably the best coursework they've ever done. But this is what I understand they need, really. And that's why I encourage them to do these new things, to get in front of camera. They can then take that clip and put it in their project, and they're doing more exciting things than other students. So that course